It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Titans and the Jets, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Tennessee Titans. Again, everyone, with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Titans, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They're led out by a former number 2 overall pick in the draft from BYU, at Zach Wilson.
Brandon, I don't know about you, but when I heard he threw 5 touchdown passes last week, I thought, well, he's going to be the AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I didn't need to hear any other stats, and he turned out to be right.
That's exactly right. It seemed like every time we turned around, he was throwing one in the end zone. But he doubled down. He said, I see 5 more in this game. Challenge accepted.
Challenge.
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Well, this defense for the Titans, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And they needed to be because the game was a game we don't see very often anymore. Low scoring, slugging it out in the trench.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. 51 yards on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. And they'll be let out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing 1 interception. Didn't have a touchdown to offset it. But the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. He was able to topple the 200-yard mark and a rushing touchdown for good measure.
And what I found surprising, all those yards he accumulated, only found the end zone one
just
time.
once.
That doesn't even seem fair, does it?
But still, the 200-yard mark, something he can always carry in his back pocket. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Yeah, that one going to be knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And they are right at the 500 mark on the year and got there with a victory a week ago.
And I think right now I put myself in the shoes of the head coach and say, all right, time to reset a little bit. And I don't give my team a win one for the Gipper speech, but I do say, look, we haven't played our best football yet, but we are at 500 and we're still in it. Let's try and string a few of these victories together, and we're capable of doing so.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. Over the middle, he's got Myers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. I'm just impressed he held on to that football. You're coming across the middle on the crossing route like that, absorb that contact. Whew.
All we talk about in today's football is trying to get the football away from the offensive player. Sometimes you just can't do that, and you have to finish a play off with a good old-fashioned tackle, as we just saw.
And Monty Rice there on the tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the shotgun, Wilson. Robinson's got it. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll look to throw. It's brought in by Wilson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
Well, normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Henry. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And that's going to be another 1st down as the tackle made at the Jets' 19.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
On 1st down, Henry pushes him aside at the 10. And the Titans are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one. Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Here's 2nd and 8. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Titans have taken a first-quarter lead.
An excellent, long, sustained offensive drive. And now they can look across the field and see a defense that looks a little bit beaten down. Right now, as an offensive coordinator, you're thinking to yourself, can I dial up the knockout punch?
Extra point forthcoming. And this is good. Our score, 7-0 Tennessee. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Tennessee score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the 6. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. This to the outside for Mack. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds. Here's Braden Mann now as he's on to punt for New York. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complementary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they've got 2nd and 8 forthcoming. On play action, they'll throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's Henry, and he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Now back to throw. Flush to his right. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll get only a couple down to 44. The Jets on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. A.J. Brown and the Titans getting the ball back here. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. 2nd and 6. And this one's incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. New York ready to go again offensively. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
From the 27, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Myers. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And this one is incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Right there, 54, right there.
Now it's Wilson. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Titans will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
A.J. Brown and the Titans getting the ball back here. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game, though.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. Complete. It's Henry. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. After the penalty, it's Henry. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Titans on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. 1, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Person. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A gain of 18. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. On 1st down, Henry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll set up a throw. He's got it. And it's a Titans touchdown. A.J. Brown, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Zach Wilson and the Jet offense set to take over here. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. He's going to look deep for more. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. Big yardage that time for the Jets. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And to be honest, this first half hasn't been anything that they'd be really proud about. So they needed something like this to change their fortunes. Now they need to make sure they finish this one off. Not just with points, but with a touchdown.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story. That's a full 67 yards in the air. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Wilson. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Wilson. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. D.J. Jones drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now the Jets will call on the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 39. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now the Jets will call on the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 39. Gay's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So they do get the 3 points before they hit halftime. Something to build on, maybe.
Yeah, go ahead and raise the banner, right? But wave the flag. That's good. Got points. And now, as you said, they've got something to build on as they get ready for the second half.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland.
We now proceed to the start of the second half.
Both teams making their final adjustments for the second half to come. And to bring the action your way, we go back to MetLife Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Second half begins with a run by Henry. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 73 yards rushing for him here as he starts to close in now on 1,200 yards for the season. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Back to throw here. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out. Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Out to the right here to Wilson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
They'll run on first down. It's Henry, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll keep it on the ground. Henry, and he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down. They're going to look to throw. And finding the tight end Wilson. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Alex Highsmith there on the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Out of the gun now on third down. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. picked off by Ashton Davis. And the Jets are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield. As
pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield. And oftentimes, the QB ends up on his backside as he did there.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Now Wilson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got him both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. On the handoff, it's Mack. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Wilson's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on third and very long.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
That's caught by Myers. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Gay knocks this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the fourth, a costly turnover.
56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
See, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter, maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Jordan Elliott. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback. And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, in every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. Here's Wilson to throw. He completes this one to Mack. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that'll bring up 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Mack. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 108 yards rushing now as he's done it on 22 carries. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Now this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. They'll look to throw here. He finds his man, complete. It's Person. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll keep it on the ground. Henry. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. A first down carry for Henry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is second and less than a yard. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep.
Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Second and 8 coming from the 19. They'll keep it on the ground. Henry, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So this one, a Tennessee Titan victory, and it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output
That's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it?